I'm Barry Tramel, and I say 7 wins and any bowl game is a good year for Oklahoma State football in 2010.
And I say if we get back to 9 wins, that would be definitely pushing it for this year's team. From the Pubco Studios in Oklahoma City, I'm Mariah Gearhart. Barry, I know that this is a young team, and obviously last year was supposed to be a big year, didn't really turn out. But why only 7 wins? Do you think that OSU football can actually get to those 9 wins and make it to a legit bowl game?
Well, it's possible they can. And Mariah, you're an OSU student. You play softball for the Cowgirls, and you're working for us this summer. And you know what the culture of Oklahoma State athletics are. And you know they had a very good 2 straight years, 9 straight wins back-to-back years. But I just think that's a high standard to hold this team to. OSU has made great strides in football in the 2000s, but it is a rebuilding year. Zach Robinson is gone. This is a team that's going to have less weapons offensively, even though Dana Holgerson, the new coordinator, offers some promise, some defensive holes. To me, the momentum of OSU football continues if the Cowboys just can get to the 6 or 7 wins, preferably 7, make a bowl game, retool, and come back strong for next season.
And I do agree with what you're saying, and I will admit, of course, I'm a little biased. They are my boys. That's my team. But I do have a little bit more faith in them as far as how young they are. You know, obviously I have an inside. I know a lot of the boys. I have talked to a lot of the offensive and defensive players, and they are setting a higher standard for themselves. They know that it's a rebuilding year. They can't deny that. The coaches haven't denied it either. But they have more faith in themselves. Obviously, as a young team coming in, they're going to be more confident because they haven't really been in the situations that, you know, Zach Robinson and all the other players that OSU is losing have already been through. So I think this year is going to be rebuilding, but it's going to be a test to see if Brandon Whedon, other players like Markel Martin that are stepping up and being leaders on this team that they weren't in those roles before, and if they can really take this team to the standard that it was last year, even though people aren't expecting it.
Well, if the OSU gets to the 9 wins, if they go 8-4, win a bowl game, 9-4 finish, I think that's a fantastic year. I just think talk that Mike Gundy needs to get to 9 wins to stay in the good graces of Boone Pickens and Mike Holder, that's just nonsensical talk. This program has come a long way in the last 10 years. Mike Gundy's done an excellent job building the program. Oklahoma State football has reached a level where it's now mentioned, not with necessarily Oklahoma and Texas, but with the other squads in the Big 12, it's right there with the Techs and the Nebraskas and the A&Ms. So I don't think OSU has to stay at 9 wins or higher to maintain that level. Just keep the momentum of a bowl game going, and then I think that's a great sign that the future of this program is very bright.
Well, if you look at Oklahoma State's schedule this year, then they have the possibility of getting those 9 wins. You know, their toughest games and what would be their upsets for them this year are going to be Oklahoma, Texas, and Nebraska. That's within conference. Their non-conference schedule is set up perfectly for all of these young players to come in and get ready for a very tough conference, obviously, in football. And that's what they should be able to do. If Brandon Whedon is able to come in and do what is expected of him, if the defense is able to turn around and Holgerson is able to get this offense going and take it where it hasn't been the past 2 years with Zach Robinson, and obviously Kendall Hunter is going to have to come in and really step up in the backfield because with the passing game that Holgerson brings, Kendall's going to be able to have a lot more room. But are they going to be able to turn around and do that and not have get the game upsets against Tulsa and the teams that they really should be, even with such a young team? They are talented enough to do it. They are talented enough to get 9 wins if they're going to be able to do it. Hey, stay with the best coverage team anywhere. Every day on newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.